Pfeiffer speaking from Marysfield. Good to be with you. Always good things happening here. Today I wanted to say a few words about a few different things and to kind of put them together in a way with this absolutely marvelous book went into I think it was 30 different printings. That's how you can tell a great book is by the number of times it's reprinted. Piece of Soul by Fulton Sheen. He was an auxiliary bishop in New York. He wrote about 30 books. He had a syndicated column in the newspapers, about 82 newspapers. He was on a Sunday morning broadcast from 1939 till about 1952, about 400 stations. Then he decided to go on to television and had 169 stations taking care of his television program. I used to see it often as I was no more than in 8th or ninth grade, but it was present on television each week, and people flocked everywhere to get together to be able to listen to Bishop Sheen. He was a great orator, and it was always something that was wonderful and truthful. One of the things that he often said was he was a prophet. He really knew where the country was, where the world was, and where it was going. And that's why this book had so many reprints. And the one thing he said was, at that point, atheistic communism, real trouble. And boy, did it ever happen after he was speaking about it in so many different ways. One of the things he said I'll never forget is to be a socialist or to be a communist, the first one who dies is God. You have to kill God. Socialism cannot exist with God, and democracy cannot exist without God. And that's been a truth that's been the case, and that's happening in our country as we speak, and everybody knows that. Socialism is something that everybody who thinks they're avant-garde is, promoting for all kinds of reasons, and the first person to go is God. Bishop Sheen's story, a true story that he told. He said, some years ago I was eating in a hotel restaurant when a boy about 12 who shined shoes for a living began to swing on a velvet curtain at the entrance. The head waiter yelled at him and rightly ordered him out of the hotel. I followed the boy into the street. He told me he had been expelled from a Catholic school by a priest and a nun who assured him that he could never again attend a Catholic school. I took him to the priest and nun involved and reminded them of 3 other bad boys expelled from religious schools, one for drawing pictures during geography class, another for fighting too much, and a third for keeping bad books under his mattress. They were, respectively, Hitler, Mussolini, and Stalin. How different might world history have been if their teachers had taken pains to reform them. The priest and the nun agreed to readmit the boy. In due course, he was ordained a priest and today is a missionary in the Arctic. Good story, beautiful story. Bishop Sheen, incidentally, is in the process of sainthood, and he certainly would make a great example for all of us Americans. About a year ago, Pope Francis was criticized for getting involved in some kind of a trade union situation in Italy. And the trade union said, what right do you have to get involved in this kind of thing? You're Pope, you take care of Catholics and whatever. And he said, all of the people involved in this, including yourselves, have souls and spirits, and my job is to take care of the soul and the spirit of people. And so it gives us not a freedom, but a kind of responsibility to be able to take care of people in a kind of holistic way. Recently we had the National Day of Prayer the other day, and our beloved president didn't mention the word God one time. Not one time. That's absolutely preposterous, absolutely unbelievable. Can't understand that. He mentioned racism and global warming and all these other kinds of things and didn't mention God one time. His Easter address didn't mention the resurrection or Jesus one time. His special address to Congress, he didn't conclude it for the first time in certainly recent history with God bless America. What is happening? It's clear what is happening. Socialism is taking place. You have to kill God. The the same thing happened with Bernie Sanders. Before 2016, he was railing against all millionaires. Then he became a millionaire. Then he became railing against billionaires. The people at the top in socialism, they always have food on the table. They always have a nice house. They always drive a nice car. The people at the bottom, they're the ones who end up suffering, so that all of the people at the top can end up doing marvelous things and have a wonderful life. And it's time now, for the bishops to speak about this thing. We now, because of our president, have abortion kits being sent to people's houses. Absolutely unbelievable. And his spokesperson says, well, he personally doesn't believe in abortion, but the administration, they really do believe in abortion. And that's like asking someone to go to the bathroom for you. How do you get away with that? He and Nancy Pelosi, they're clearly abortionists, and they should be responsible for what they're saying. And the Catholic bishops in this country need to stop putzing around and be able to begin saying the things they need to say to this president to be able to help him to understand reality. He says, I'm a Catholic, so does Pelosi. Well, they need to be confronted by the Catholic leadership. And if they and the clergy don't speak out soon, what happens in all socialism and all socialist countries, sooner or later, they can't speak out. And so we don't want to get involved in all kinds of politics here, but it's a part of the human condition. I'm a Catholic priest. I'm very much concerned about the people that get affected by all of these kinds of things happening or not happening. And so I feel strongly about speaking out for the care of the people that God has given to me. And that's a part of this particular presentation. And so for your heart, your soul, I feel some real concern. And I've got to be able to say the things that express the truth in order to be able to express that concern. So, continue speaking the truth. These are bad times. We live in uncertain times, and it's not a panic kind of attitude to take, but things are happening that haven't happened in this country ever, and it's really time to be able to put the finger on and to name those things. You can't kill the enemy unless you really know who that enemy is, and as my son, the historian, has said, Voltaire once said, if you want to know who your enemy is, find out who you can't criticize. Think about that. And that's a really true thing. Boy, you can't say this, you can't say that, or you'll offend. You get, all those kind of things. If you want to find out who your enemy is, find out who you're not able to criticize. And so again, the truth is what matters. That's what makes us free. And if we don't do it today, we're not going to be free tomorrow, and boy, we don't want to see that happening for ourselves and for our children. We have to plant the trees now under which we want to see our children one day sit. Thank you for being with us. We'll look forward to being with you tomorrow. God bless.